So I'm fluent in 4 languages and I'm learning my 5th one. And the most common question that I get is, dude, amongst all of the things that you are doing, how do you find time to add languages to the mix? Aren't languages hard? And the answer is, you need to do certain things to make sure that you can actually find time, or you can make your learning much more efficient by employing certain tricks. So you can learn a new language fast. Now I'm learning Japanese right now. I haven't been able to find time actually, which is, I'm in the same boat as you guys, but then there are certain things that I'm doing so that I can get exposed to the language Japanese a little bit more, so I can learn it faster. And you can employ the same tricks or tips or hacks when learning English. And I've used the same thing when I was learning Marathi as well. So let's look at those few things. So number 1 is willpower. We all have a very, very limited willpower, and we have certain things that we need to do. Some of you guys might need to take care of your kids, might need to send them to school and then take them back, maybe do your house chores, prepare food and whatnot. Especially if you're in college or school, then you have the additional like tuitions and whatnot that you need to attend to. So I get it. Life it needs more than 24 hours. Let's just put it at that. So what if you have 24 hours, which we all do? How do you make the most of those 24 hours? Willpower is limited. What do I do so that I can maximize that? I don't feel like, are yaar, fir karna padega. Because if you take certain things and you push them later during the day, what's gonna happen is throughout the day you're taking certain decisions, and it's gonna make hard for you to take decisions after a point of time. So for example, let's say if you're deciding what to eat and you've been at it for 10-15 minutes, don't you start feeling tired? Don't you start feeling not just mentally but physically tired because you've been thinking so hard? Our brain takes up a lot of energy, and that's what you'll also see a lot of successful people do. They'll have the same color shirt that they'll wear every single time. What does that do? That removes one decision from their daily chores, and removing those small decisions is going to make things easier. So in my case, I need to make videos, I need to make content for my Instagram, for Twitter, for LinkedIn, and I have my setup ready so that I don't have to do anything. I just have to turn one button on and everything is ready for me. If I had to do the same thing, I had to set up my tripod, do whatever every single time, I won't simply do it. Why? Because alas, right? Lazy people. We are all lazy people, and that's how it is. So there is this saying, eat the frog first thing in the morning, right? So what does that mean? Is the task that you hate the most, or the task that's going to require a lot of energy, that's the task that you should do right in the beginning of the day. Tie it to an existing behavior of yours. So for example, let's say you have listening practice of English that you need to do, because the more we listen to the language, the better it is going to be for us. Listening practice is something that you're aiming to do for 5 to 10 minutes every single day, no matter what. You tie it to something else. All right. Wake up in the morning, while you brush your teeth, you're going to have earphones and you're going to listen to an audiobook or a YouTube video. So you've tied it to something else, and slowly it starts to become, I am brushing my teeth, I'm listening to something. So in my case, how I have employed this, there are house chores. Sometimes there are dishes to do. Sometimes there's laundry to put away, right? So it matters. Like I can't expect my wife to do everything, right? So what I've done is, whenever I'm doing house chores, I'll have my earphones and I'll be listening to an audiobook. All right. Next one, as you can probably guess with all of this, is discipline is freedom. So Jocko Willink is a US Navy SEAL, to be very specific, the most elite soldiers that US produces right now, and he's a very famous person who's led a lot of missions for USA, and he says discipline equals freedom. And if we are able to build a specific schedule in our lives, if we're able to be disciplined about certain things, we can be free to do a lot of other things. I think that's extremely important. So definitely looking at how you can pair a specific behavior with an existing habit or specific thing that you need to do throughout your day, no matter what, pair those things, you'll find some sort of discipline. So having a schedule is going to be extremely important. So no matter what you are doing, 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes in the evening, these kind of things help. A timetable 100% helps. So definitely look into building something like that for yourself as well. Now I know actually learning a new language is hard, but it also opens up a new culture, new ways of understanding things, new food, new type of people that you can interact with. So we definitely want to do that, but we don't want to do it in a way that it overtakes our life. Learning English or learning any other language for the matter of fact can be as straightforward as All right, I'll spend 10 to 15 minutes a day into this, but I won't overburden myself. So I have made a couple of videos on a 21-minute schedule that you can follow in a day, even 1 hour, 1.5 hour schedule for the week that you can follow as well. So you can pick any one of those routines up and don't overburden yourself. If you aim to, let's say, spend 2 to 3 hours a day on learning English, 100% you are not going to be able to do it every single day. I can guarantee you that, because I know for the matter of fact, I can't, nobody can. It's extremely difficult to do that to have that kind of commitment in the day-to-day life, to learn something new that might not yield immediate results for us. It's definitely going to be hard. So don't overburden yourself. Look at like a 15-20 minute routine for a day, and that's going to be much more than enough in the long scheme of things. And I've seen this time and again. This is human behavior, by the way. A lot of times, because we can't do something daily, we choose to not do it even once a week, which is wrong, right? जीरो से बेटर है कि हम हफ्ते में एक दिन वो चीज़ कर लें. We can do it for a day in a week. That's going to be better than zero. Another interesting tip that I can give you is to read more. And to read more, you can again tie the reading behavior to an existing habit. So right before you go to sleep every single day on your bed, read for 5 minutes or read for 7 minutes, or you can quantify it a little bit better, read 2 pages every single day. That's it, right before you go to bed. So pair it with an existing behavior of yours. So whatever you do, maybe you have a nighttime routine, you brush your teeth and you go to bed or something like that, just add 2 pages of reading every single day. You might say, all right, I don't have as many books. What do I do? You can read those couple of pages on your phone. There are free books available. There are so many stories on the archive. There are tons of books available for free. Just get those and read a couple of pages of one of those books on your phone is going to be better. 5 minutes to 7 minutes is all I ask. Now, another important thing that I hear from people is, how do you be consistent daily? And the answer, friends, is daily is a type of consistency, yes, but consistent doesn't mean daily. Consistent is regular. So once a week, every single week, week after week is consistent. Twice a week, every single week, week after week is also consistent. It doesn't need to be daily. You can go for 2 to 3 days a week, but do it consistently. So consistent is a cadence, and that cadence can be anything that you make it to be. It doesn't have to be daily. It can be 1 day a week, or maybe 2 hours a week, or 3 hours a week. Split it over multiple days, whatever you can. But consistency is basically about engrossing yourself into your life, about whatever the thing that you are learning. In this case, it's English, and pair it with what? With doing it regularly. And that is what consistent means. And another parallel to this is, start simple but keep it simple. And I've seen it time and again as well. We start with something simple and then we start making things much more difficult. Let's look at your native language. Let's look at your mother tongue. So in my case, it's Hindi, Punjabi, and then I've learned Marathi. But to be very honest, there are only probably a few hundred words that are used on a very ongoing basis. So the language is actually pretty simple. If I'm talking to somebody and I'm using these ridiculous words that half of the people don't understand, I just come out as pretentious. What's the meaning of pretentious? Do let me know in the comments below. I come out as somebody who's pretentious and somebody who's like high-nosed, right? And as somebody who has a lot of ego. But if I'm using a simple language, which everybody uses, which everybody converses in, you talk to people in England, you talk to people in USA, you talk to people in Europe, 99.9% of the people are going to use simple words, simple language. So why not just start simple and keep it simple? Why make things more complex for us, especially when most of the people out there are not going to do it? Most of the newspapers, by the way, they on an average use only 1200 English words repeated over and over again. That's all. That's all the vocabulary that you need. You don't need to learn thousands and thousands of words. So let's keep the sentence structure simple. Let's keep the vocabulary simple and continue with that. And that is going to make us a little bit more confident about things, because as you start to interact with people, you'll understand complexity is not in demand anywhere. It's just a way of us feeling a little bit better about ourselves, which doesn't really play much in the bigger scheme of things overall. So I hope these few tips help you out with your English learning journey, with finding a little bit more time throughout your day to learn English in a consistent manner. So that's all for today's video. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. This is Shivam. I'll see you guys next time. Till then, bye and take care.